Dare to believe you can survive.
You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry.
Kill again? Yeah, doesn't matter.
Go for broke. Fight!
What's up, guys? This is jmoonies bringing you yet another exciting episode of the Lobby Challenger, because for some reason a lot of people really want to play these days, and I am more than happy to oblige. Leading off our episode today is the wonderful and talented Metroid Dread, who is also a second lord. Today's matchups are actually centering around high-ranking players. As you can see, I'm still kind of teetering around the 7th Lord rank, mostly because lobby matches and Heroes and Heralds have been taking up my time, and I really haven't been ranking up that much. But additionally, when the game first came out, I was pretty much getting my ass kicked left and right, and I thought the curve has finally sort of narrowed down a bit. That's probably not a good term, but pretty much I was I was pretty convinced that I was not going to make it past 6th Lord. But thankfully, it's nice to have these experiences and know where you stand in actuality, despite the deficiency in prestige points in this game. But as mentioned earlier, playing against Metroid Dread, 2nd Lord, very nice guy, and talented in several characters. Now, I'll have to admit, as soon as he joined my lobby, I was actually somewhat intimidated, because even in Vanilla Marvel, the highest rank I really went up to was 4th Lord, and very rarely did I ever encounter anyone past 3rd, let alone beat anyone in that range. Metroid Dread was a really cool guy, tossed me hints about my gameplay while spectating. And to tell the truth, I really encourage that when I'm doing these 4-man lobbies. Honestly, I will talk to you, well, not talk necessarily, I will communicate with you. If you send me a message, I'll write you back and pretty much go back and forth in between rounds. To be honest, I haven't gotten around to doing the whole Bluetooth headset yet, partially because I'm never ready for it, but also because I'm still at that kind of hesitant point of revealing my voice live. For those of you who haven't noticed, I'm sure it's fairly obvious, I do edit my voiceovers and post, so if you were to listen to me in real time, I'd probably talk about twice as slow. But anyways, the second round, I can only assume is probably Metroid Dread's main team. Either that or a team perfectly designed to combat my Hulk strategies. Leading in with Morrigan, obviously a very good countermeasure to Hulk because she does so many hits and a lot of her crouching attacks are safe, so I can't really punish with the Gamma Crush last minute. Senko, a very unusual choice, not to mention English voice acted, which I kind of consider to be a form of psychological warfare just because I personally find it extremely jarring. I'd understand if all his characters were English, but Morgan's, as you can see, is still in Japanese. But yeah, I subbed out Ryu to try to combat that. He subbed out into Senko, and then subbed back into Morgan when I got Hulk back in. And pretty solid triple DHC there. I could already tell that Hyper Armor is going to be the death of me later on. Interesting Dormammu game, I've got to say. The only person I really run into who plays Dormammu frequently is, of course, Cameraman. And as you all know, he's a giant pussy and walks backwards all the time. Now, I was talking about character-specific matchups last episode, and swapping in certain characters to combat certain characters. In this case, Nova is one of them. I don't know, I guess it's really easy to catch the tall characters, I guess because it's fairly obvious when they're not crouching. But also, I find his Energy Javelin to be quite an interesting tool. I don't really use it for keep away, but the interesting thing I do with it is actually use it at close range. And since no one really expects it, they hesitate, and then right when they're about to attack, it usually lands on them, which opens them up for comboing. But Nova I found to be almost as difficult to use in my team as Zero because he has such low health, and he pretty much gets taken out quite as often. once again, back to Morgan, one of the most difficult characters I find in multiplayer combat. Many multiple hits, it's very hard to tell when it's safe for a counterattack, but also has that mirror image hyper that totally screws with your sense of perception. Thankfully, I got him with the Shinku during an air dash. But, yeah. My terrible habit of using Hado Shoryuken to punish characters coming in from the side has finally backfired on me, thanks to Senko's hyper armor. Next matchup, a rematch with Slon, actually, who was one of the first guys I played in my Lobby Challenger series. He's made it all the way to 3rd Lord, which is funny because I think I only rose up 1 rank since playing him last. It's definitely, it's a grounding experience, I guess, playing against people of such high rank and one of 2 hypers that counter Gamma Crush. But as I was saying, it's definitely a very grounding experience to play against people who've reached high ranks and know that you can still go toe-to-toe with them every once in a while. Slon, once again, really cool guy, even though he beats me probably at a 60 to 70% win ratio. Compliments my Hulk, even though it's not that great. But he does have a fairly impressive Spencer play. I actually like playing Spencer because I find him to be one of the least predictable characters in the roster. This little grappling hook move, I realize, can pretty much go through most projectiles and even Hulk's Gamma Charge, so he's a guy I definitely have to be careful when facing. Thankfully, I managed to take him out there with Nova. Also a nice matchup for me, I find. Nova versus Wesker. I think because most of his really good attacks revolve around standing hits as opposed to crouching. So, once again, crouching medium. It's becoming a little too abusive these days. But nice drop H into special and then slam. Now this part's always scary because whenever you run into level 3 X-Factor Sentinel, even though he's a glass cannon, he still has such a high damage output that it's practically like facing Hulk. One wrong move and you're more or less screwed. But there we go. Poorly executed X-Factor left me vulnerable. Now, one of the interesting things about these lobby matches I've been doing, for those of you who aren't really aware of how I operate, pretty much on weekdays from about 7 to 8-ish, a little earlier or later depending on when I get out of work, I pretty much invite 4 people to join a lobby. They usually message me day of or probably the previous day and I couldn't get to them. And I keep it at 4 because going up to 8 is a little ridiculous and no one really has the chance to play. But what's been really enlightening is that even though what's really enlightening, or what's been really surprisingly interesting about the whole lobby matches, the open lobbies I've been doing, is that a lot of people play a lot of different characters, and amongst all the subscribers who've been challenging me, they all seem to fall in a very similar skill level, which once again brings me to my curious question of what kind of people follow me on YouTube, and I guess I've kind of confirmed that it's mostly players of a similar skill level as I am, which is pretty reassuring, and I'm glad that you guys find interest in this series. What's also intriguing is that I find that when I have trouble with a particular team and I feel like they're amazing, one of the other guys in the lobby who I might have beat but 3 characters standing will totally take that guy out. And lobbies I find are probably some of the greatest forms of practice. Much better practice than facing cameraman over and over again, because I'm constantly having to rotate through different players and more or less having to adapt to different strategies every time, which has been pretty awesome. let me know your experiences in the comments as far as lobby play or just general online play. Are you meeting new people through this, and do you actually make friends and regular challengers, regular rivals through online play? And if you've participated in my open lobbies, have you been playing with any of the other guys I've invited so far? Anyways, the final sets I'm showing you here is yet another rematch. This time with Airtola, who, if you may have remembered, completely crushed me using Hulk, and I started trying to use some of his Hulk tech to up my game. In this particular round, I've actually requested that he use my team, just so I can see what someone who's better can do with it. Obviously, this isn't his best team, but the dude is really good, and he plays a huge variety of characters, which makes me wonder if he's actually involved in the pro circuit. He doesn't actually answer my PSN messages, he just more or less silently shows up and plays, but if the name strikes a bell to anybody, let me know in the comments if he is in fact competitive. I'm just more curious about this than anything. But as I'm sure you've noticed by now, I've been working on the Gamma Wave OTG to Tatsu Assist, going into Gamma Charge and then into Gamma Crush. I've been watching some of our older matches, and I was thinking, after doing the Tatsu, I could probably go into Launcher, go straight into Air H, and then Slam again. Gamma Wave, and then Gamma Crush. But, that's gonna take a bit of practice, and this is really just gonna be a one step at a time process here. Oh, there we go. I finally pulled it off. And the donkey kick. Oh, this guy's been definitely playing mission mode, because I remember that exact combo that I couldn't pull off with the self-enhancement. In addition to speed though, I guess, I don't know, maybe my eyes tricked me there, but I think Ryu actually gets more hits from his normals using the self-enhancement hyper, so I don't know, I'm gonna have to test that out at some point later. And canceled straight into Hado Shoryu to get out of it. I never thought to do that. Impressively takes out my Hulk on such low health. And air throw to Shinku Hadouken for the win. Now, don't let the rank fool you, because even though he's 4th Lord, this guy is really good. I'm almost tempted to say he's probably at Galactic Lord level good. And he's probably been busy on Heroes and Heralds as well, because I remember looking back at the leaderboards and he was like number 4 in the world ranking, which is ridiculous. Heralds though, so he has my total respect. But this is the team he bodied me with originally. The Sentinel Taskmaster Hulk team. Very good with the heavy hitting characters. And at first I thought he was mostly a rushdown character, but during a few matches, and I haven't actually showed him in this round yet, or in this video, but dude plays an amazing keep away game. So he's pretty versatile. He's at least super good with 12 characters probably. Pretty damn amazing stuff. But you're about to see here, he does a shocking keep away game with Nemesis of all characters. Obviously, with a good Taskmaster assist going there. Kind of a stupid way to die, to be honest, but I'll have to come up with some newer approaches since I don't have any teleport characters. But Silver hopefully saves the day, and I had no idea Rocket Launcher actually OTG'd after grab. That's pretty good stuff to know. But yeah, playing against other opponents who are obviously better than you and more skilled, it's definitely the best learning experience I have, and it's always fun to give these things a shot. Out of curiosity, what are your guys' reactions when you're either fighting around the 7th Lord tier and you run into a 5th Lord, or if you're in the 4th Lord tier and you run into a 1st Lord? Is it bullshit, you think? The online tiering system, or do you find that you're actually a lot closer to those ranks than you think? Once again, if you'd like to play against me online, go ahead and add me on PSN. Don't bother asking, I'll just accept you, at least until my friends list is full. And if you want to play, just message me. Don't invite me to game because I don't want you to just wait in case someone else is on my PS3. But anyways, thank you guys for watching episode 5, and enjoy the amazing use of Hado Shoryu I've ever seen. Later, guys.